Well, you mentioned as the first song, "This Must Be My Dream," and I wrote one piece of lyric down from that track is, "I personified the lack of freedom in your life."
Yeah.
Where did this line come from?
Because that line was, I personify the lack of freedom in your life, and I'm sure. It used to be, It was loads. I don't know. That was the last one that I came up with. There was like 4 different alternatives. What does that lyric mean? Well, it means that it's a song about being away on tour, obviously, and about this must be my dream. Why I was wide awake before I found you. This must be my dream. I can't wait for you, boy. You know, so it's all about that kind of thing, and it's about personifying the fact that even though I'm not there, you don't have the freedom to go and do your thing because I'm holding you back, even though I'm not there.
And well, you say sometimes you have an idea of what you want to talk about in a song. You have certain themes. What was one thing that you had to have on the album that you wanted to talk about?
If I Believe You.
Okay.
That was you know, I think naturally. There's somebody walking by a ghost in high heels. I feel naturally I'm disposed to. For me, I think I just naturally write about the fundamentals of things: fear, sex, love, God. And all, you know, addiction, all of the things that everybody deals with on a base level, and then I talk about them in a conversational way. I think the biggest struggles that I've had in my life are, you know, kind of, well, they would be, you know, addiction, mental health, and religion. Those were the 3 that I knew I was going to talk about, and everything else just happens. A lot of them are based on influence, like She's American happened.
Sure.
Because I went to America and I was a young British boy in an English band. Do you know what I mean? But If I Believe You comes from when I was 6 years old. Okay. You know.
And well, you mentioned in that track the atheism, and then so does that help? Writing a song about it, does that help kind of help you understand something like religion? And
well, I mean, I try to. That's what it is for me now. Writing music is my catharsis. It's almost quite dangerous sometimes because as soon as something particularly emotionally engaging, whether it be a death or a this or a that, or because now this is what I do and I have a license to do it, it's an apparatus to immediately just give it context. Something bad happens, I turn it into art, there's the context, there's the catharsis. Now, whether that's healthy or not is a different conversation. Like, I don't know. Maybe in 5 years' time I'll realize that I haven't actually dealt with anything. But that's what I do. So I try and make sense of things and then share it with people and see if they understand me. And they seem to.
Because is that part of what you like to do with your art, to make people think about these kind of things?
Well, I think that if you shine a light on yourself, you shine a light on other people. I think that that's why I'm comfortable I'm slightly comfortable with talking about the things about me that make me uncomfortable, because that, from what I've learned from a lot of the young people that I meet, is that's quite empowering. If you talk about things that aren't good, like I talk about parts of my personality that don't paint me out to be a great person, but in doing that, it gives people permission to accept that part of themselves as well. You know, like we're all humans. You know, we're all people. We all fuck up, and I talk about fucking up loads.
Is there one reaction you had to these kind of things you say that stuck with you?
What do you mean?
The reactions to, well, you talk about very personal things, very things that people might not like to admit about themselves. Have you heard reactions from fans that told you that it meant something to them? Or?
Yeah, well, every day people tell me stuff. I mean, it's hard, man, because I don't know how dramatic people are, and I don't know how serious people are. Every day people say stuff like, "You saved my life," or like, I was gonna kill myself, or shit like that. You know, it's quite heavy.
Okay.
People have hard lives,
Hmm.
and I'm faced with that quite a lot. So I feel a responsibility to be honest and to make people at least the people that want to listen to me, make them understand that it's okay to be how they are.
In that respect, would you censor yourself?
No. Well, of course, to a certain extent.
Hmm.
Like, there's things that I wouldn't talk about because it wouldn't be right to talk about.
Okay.
You know, certain behaviours that maybe I've indulged in, I can't like go and talk about that because I know what my audience is. But then on the other hand, I'll never patronise my audience.
Okay.
I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I can talk about drugs. I can talk about sex.
Mm.
You know, even if there is young people aren't stupid.
Sure.
There's loads of young girls that love our band, and I always say, you know, there's so many. I mean, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein when she was 17.
Mm.
That girl that just won the Nobel Prize, she was 17 or whatever. Like it's yeah.
Do you feel responsible then, in a way, for your fans?
Artistically, I do.
Okay.
I can't feel personally responsible
Sure.
because that would be ridiculous. It wouldn't be expected of me as well.
No.
I couldn't. I mean, there's the funny thing is that like every tour that I do, and I always say this, is that every tour I do, I ended up buying a suitcase for the fan mail.
Okay.
You know, for when you go outside and meet the kids, everyone's got a letter or everyone's got something, and it's always very emotionally invested stuff. And then I have a bag of emotions. I literally have other people's emotional baggage along with my own metaphorical emotional baggage. And it's interesting. So when you feel that much emotional investment, the first thing I think is, well, I need to give that back.
Okay.
Artistically.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing that you mentioned, one of the things you said you liked to talk about was mental health. And well, obviously you're quite confident, and like I said in the previous interview with us, you kind of predicted where you would be now. But then there's also a side of you I read where you can struggle with depression. So how do those two things balance themselves? The confidence on the one hand, but then the...
Well, part of it's an act.
Okay.
Part of it's a self-defense mechanism. If you go out on stage and the thing is now is that I have an environment where I can do that. I get nervous on the TV.
Okay.
I get very neurotic and very self-aware when I do the TV. I get very, very nervous when we play places like festivals that we've never played. I get very nervous when it's not my crowd. The thing is, with our shows, they sell out like that, and they've always sold out like that, and what that means is that it's hardcore fans at those shows. When I go out on stage at those shows, I don't have anything to worry about. Everybody has already given me the benefit of the doubt, because to know me, to love my band, you have to get me.
Sure.
And if you're in a room full of people who get you, you can do whatever the fuck you want, and that's what I do. Okay. I get nervous when I'm not with my people, you know, but when I'm with them, I'm fine. You know.
Finally then, your album came in at #1 in America, in the UK. Like I said, you had great success. What are you looking forward to now? Is there still certain things that you like to achieve?
Yeah, there's loads of things. I mean, I'm kind of, at the moment, like, it feels like I'm approaching the peak of my kind of creative career. Like the next 4 or 5 years, I think, are going to be something that I really, really embrace. We're going to make another 1975 record. We're going to make a couple of other people's records. Okay. We're going to tour this record. And you know what? If I can keep making records that I'm as proud of as this record, then that's it. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers.
Thanks.